Hello, homework friend. Let's get started on question number 1. So we have a crest at 157 and we have a valley at 200 and -7. So I could be really lazy about this and I could say, okay, I know the sinusoidal axis is the midpoint of my top and my bottom, so that's at 0. I could say I'm going to use cosine. I could say my amplitude is 7. So right away I know I'm going to have 7 cosine. Oh goodness. Well, the change in x going from the top to the bottom, change in x is 50 units, which means I need another 50 units to get up to the top. So the period is 100, which tells me b is going to be equal to, I feel like using radians today, so 2 pi over 100, which is pi over 50. And normally cosine starts on the x-axis, but it certainly looks as though I've shifted 150 units to the right. So I'm going to call this x minus 150, and that's one answer. Now, here's the other thing that I would feel more comfortable doing. I would feel more comfortable saying that I know that if delta x is 50, I might have a better graph. I know that, in fact, I'm going to go through 3 delta x's that, let's see, so I'm going to mark my x-axis by 50s, right? 50, 100, 150, 200, 250. And I know, in fact, my step is going to be 25. So definitely, I have a high of 7 at 150. But then I'm going to have hands on hips, touch the ground here, right? Touch your toes at 100. Back up at the top at 50, which makes sense. The period is 100. So in actuality, the graph looks kind of like this. And it is important to know what's going on close to the y-axis. You do want to sketch your graph so that you cut over the y-axis. So this is a much easier graph, and in fact I think clearer if we say that this is just -7 cosine pi over 50, and then in fact we don't have to shift this at all. So that's certainly fine. If you are a sine sort of person, you could say this is going to be 7 sine of pi over 50, but then obviously this has shifted 25 to the right, and that would be fine as well. You could consider the fact that this point is at -25, so you could write y is negative sine pi over 50, but then you would have to add x plus 25 to indicate the fact that you've shifted this 25 units to the left and it's going down instead of going up.